This is like another film that I would put as one of my all-time favorite films.
Is the most beautiful slog.
It felt like I started watching a documentary on Discovery Channel at that point, which I
Yeah.
vibe with, so I was fine.
She said this was like being in a museum for 3 hours.
There's show and don't tell. And then
Yes.
there's show.
It's very artsy. It feels
Yes.
very artsy. Slice of life and then cosmic at the same time.
The thing is, for me, this movie is all these things. Like, at a certain point, this is the slowest. Like, I don't really want to watch this film at all. And then at another point, I do believe this film is a masterpiece as well. No one has made anything like this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have to really commit and be in a certain kind of mood to sit down and give myself to this film.
Yeah. In 2011, auteur director Terrence Malick released his magnum opus, a film that the late Roger Ebert called a form of prayer. Combining his philosophical education with his passion for filmmaking, Malick composes a beautiful tapestry of life as it is, a rich mosaic of memories and metaphor, an elegant dance of dreams with divinity. Many characterize it as a search for meaning, a search for being, and a search for the God in between. But this wonder and awe for love and life is contrasted with an emotionally violent war between a mother and a father over the souls of their sons. Somewhere between darkness and light, earth and heaven, chaos and creation, science and religion, death and life, doubt and faith, father and mother, the way of nature and the way of grace is where we will find the tree of life.
That. Come on.
I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. You see it in the opening scene, it's setting it up here. It's using a structure of storytelling called sparklines. What a sparkline structure does is it contrasts two different perspectives or two different ways of life.
The nuns taught us there are two ways through life. The way of nature and the way of grace.
I like the tension between this, and there's usually a truth in that tension.
Yes, that's what it's wrestling with. And the ultimate question is, which path will Jack choose? Which aspects of those ways is he going to take with him moving forward?
Doesn't try to please
The
his
struggle between nature and grace.
accepts
His
being
mother and his
slighted,
father. And it was
forgotten,
that really caught me.
disliked. Father.
I never missed a day of work.
Mother.
Tithed every Sunday.
Always you wrestle inside me. Always you will.
How did you come to me? In what shape? What disguise?
Adult, older Jack, played by Sean Penn, he wakes up, which implies that what we're seeing, Jack is experiencing. So this is something that I did not get on the first watch of the movie.
Yeah.
When he wakes up, he lights a candle in his like really decked out modern home, very cold feeling. He lights a candle and you see that there's like something that he's trying to connect with.
I see the child that was.
He's surrounded by artificial nature, concrete, jungle. It's what man creates, and it's void of the creation that we're gonna see spill out in the rest of this movie here.
Yeah.
So this is all like symbolic storytelling here of these images, and we kind of have to see what is Malick trying to say by putting these images here together.
When did you first touch my heart?
Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding.
When God takes Job on a tour throughout the universe, this is what's happening to adult Jack.
Yeah.
God is taking adult Jack on a journey through the cosmos and through his life in answer to his prayer, his longing of what he's trying to find there. This is ultimately a movie about the search for meaning. Jack isn't going to get all the answers, but he gets all the puzzle pieces and he has to try to make sense of it, right? Which is what I think what God does in our lives is God gives us the Bible. God gives us these experiences, but we really have to figure out like, what is he trying to say through this?
Yeah.
And we have to wrestle with it. And I just really relate to how torn the character feels, trying to reach out to God, wondering if he's actually there answering. I mean, that's so much of my journey with God as well. And just trying to reconcile the different views I might have of God that come from different places. And so this kind of wandering existentialism is just something that I've had moments of my life where I've just really been in this season. And kind of like Jack here, I've had these dreams and different things where God has taken me through my memories of my story. And that's the understanding I get of my story. It really comes what God has revealed to me. And when I'm watching Tree of Life, it's like God is holding up all the pieces of Jack's life and saying, all of this is mine. And all of this represents the tree of your life. And I think that's what Malik is ultimately doing, is that this is him trying to wrestle with these ideas and helping us as the audience to wrestle with them too.
That the Lord could only have punished him because secretly he'd done something wrong. But no, misfortune befalls the good as well.
Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. It's in a sense the ultimate narrative therapy movie. With narrative therapy, as practitioners, we're trying to take people through a journey of their lives. We're trying to assemble these fragmented pieces, and we're trying to help people make sense of it and see what's the narrative unfolding here. So one of the Criterion essays called this film Natural Cubism. So we mentioned that it's trying to capture life as it is, but the editing is assembling it as a mosaic. So the framing device, if we think of God as taking Jack on a tour through his memories, it explains a lot of things about the film we're watching. It explains why it feels scattered. It might feel like a slog because we're going through someone's memories. It also explains why there's not a lot of dialogue for a lot of scenes, because our memories don't remember words as well as it remembers images. And so that's what really stays with us. So each scene that we're going to see is meant to represent a different piece of what constitutes the tree of life. And so the question is what is he going to build his life upon? And the final image is an answer to that question. It's the bridge. And what's it a bridge between?
The two worlds.
The two worlds, the two ways, exactly. That's how the sparkline is resolved, is Jack has found the bridge.
That's cool.
He's found the way to connect these things. And then after the bridge, it fades out to that light of God, and then it fades out there. So in the screenplay, Malik writes of the ending that Jack is now left with the question, will he give himself fully to this new way of life? And I believe he asks us if we will do the same. If you have not checked out this film, I highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're into these conversations about religion, spirituality, God, the theological. This really is something special. Thank you so much for checking out this video. These excerpts are taken from the Live a Meaningful Story podcast. If you'd like to hear the full analysis, check out the link in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks, and stay safe out there.